Start. So here we go. Mm, that's my Tableau here. I'll create a new connectivity today to a file. This time again, we'll go back to your sample superstore because that data set has lots of records and I can use it. So sample superstore, I'll open this. And while opening this, first thing, let us revisit what we had done last time. We have to drag and drop orders in the stores here. Sample, the data has been fetched. I'll also drag and drop people. Okay, it creates a connectivity. Now, last time I showed you how to, check the relationship also. Now, if you look at the relationship between people and the orders table. Now, in under people, you have region and we have the region manager. Okay, regional managers. Okay, and so for each region, we have one regional manager. We don't have multiple records. But for each record here, like for region West, okay, there can be multiple orders. So one people can have multiple orders. Now, one order cannot be belonging to different region. That is not possible. Okay, so we come here, we change this to one is to many. So here we have one and this is many. Clear? So let us close this. We have edited the relationship and then I use the returns table as well. Now, similarly, now look at this table here. Let me drag this down here. Now you have this order here and the same order number is coming again. So there's a repetition here. Okay, fine. So one order can have many returns. One order can have many returns. Okay, whereas the other way is not possible. Returns data is not stored here. Fine. So one order, many returns. So I need to change this. One is to many. Okay, one is to many. Now this completes my overall setting for the records. Okay, so I have already set the relationships and everything. Now let us go to the sheet. Fine. Now, before we actually think about creating a dashboard, let us do small things which I feel is important for you all to know. Let us drag. I want to know the profit and the sales value of each subcategory. Okay, I want to know the profit and the sales of each subcategory. Okay, so what I'll do is, first of all, I'll pick up the subcategory and drop it in the, let us put it in the row. Okay, I get this, right? Let me increase this a bit so that I'm not going to go and change the, the fitting here from here. I'll just change it from here. Fine. Next, what I want is I want you to drag and drop. Now, if you're doing it simultaneously, you can drag and drop. Now, in this example, which why I'm taking profit and sales, I also want to show you something different, like what happens. Say profit, I'll move profit here. I can drag it and put it here. As soon as I get this, show me, I can put it there. So that is my profit. Now, I also want the sales value. I also want the sales value. So I'll pick up the sales value. No, 1 meter. From where did I put the profit? Okay, I did it properly. Sales value. This is my sales value. Let me put it here. Again, when I come here, it gives me that, show me option. Show me, I leave it here. Okay. So now I'm getting the profit and the sales of the subcategories. Okay. Now I want you to observe something which has happened when I drag the second field. Okay, when I drag the second field, that is the sales field, something changed here. Okay, we did get the sales figure and the profit. So this becomes my, in a way, it's a pivot table or something like that in case of Excel. A table got formed. But if you look at the pans here, all the panes have some additional features which have been added. Especially look at the columns here, this one. Now, instead of showing you profit and sales, it is showing me some field which says measures name. Okay, measures name. And here also in the filter, I've got the measure names. What is, why it is coming here? And here you can see in the marks card, we got the measure values, okay, as the text, right? Now, this is nothing but the values which is coming from here. Okay, so if you look at this measure names, okay, this is the, and the measure values. Now, measure names and measure values, measure names are something where you can see the generated field, which contains the name of each measure. Like the profit is one measure, then quality is, quantity, sorry, is the other one. Sales, okay, this is the other, and discount is the other measure, okay. But because I have dragged only two of them right now, what happens? Let us do it one more thing. Let us remove profit. So I'll remove profit. So what happens? The measure name goes off, okay, from the column here. So what is happening? Whenever you're going to drag and drop, or whenever you want to show multiple measures, okay, in that case, instead of using each measure differently, what happens? These created or generated variables, values, this one, okay, this is one of the fields which gets added. So again, I'll drag and drop profit. Okay, here you can see measure names. Measure names are here, okay, and the values are getting displayed in my marks card. Okay. Now, as and whenever you might be getting an example where you have to show multiple measures, okay, in the same table. In that case, this will be useful. Okay, I hope you have understood this generated field, how it is. Now look at the other two generated fields. We have latitude and longitude. Okay, so we are going to look at this as well when these are used. Okay, but before that, let us convert this whole thing. I'll do one more thing. I'll convert. I'll put the categories also. Let us put the region. Let us put the region. Okay, so I'll put the region in the, so I'll, where is the region gone? Region here. Okay, so I'll put it in the columns here. So let me drag and drop it here. Okay, so my data gets now region. So region wise, I'm getting the profit value and the sales value. Okay, now I want to know what is, which is the item which is giving the best profit and the loss also. Okay, the best and the worst performing subcategory. Can you tell me from this figure here? Can you tell me which is the best and the worst performing categories? You can put in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and you can tell me the answer, guys. Now, looking at the table, it is not that easy to figure out this. Okay, so the best way is, you convert this into a chart. And if I convert this into a chart, okay, let us create another sheet. So what I'll do is I'll select, let us select region. I had what we had sales, control, I had profit, and I had subcategory. Okay, these were the values I had. So I'll go to the show me, okay, and click the bar chart. Okay, here we go. So we get a different form of table here. Okay, and I need to scroll down. No, this doesn't look good. Where see that, whenever you get something like this, your scroll is not there. So what I'll try to do here, let me get the columns, or let us swap this. So transpose, let us do this. Okay, now this is looking more audible. So I'll get this down. This also down. Let me put region on top and the subcategory here. Okay, like this. Now this is also not that good. So what I'll do now is I want in the same chart, I want the profit. So I'll drag and drop this on the colors. Okay, now this looks better. Fine. Now again, I have a scroll here, so I don't want this. Let me do the transpose again. Fine. No, not that good. Fine. Now if I take subcategory down here, the region here, things are not working out that good, but fine. Now what I can do here is I can go and click on the width. Let us fit to the width. Okay. This is a bit okay. Fine. This looks a bit better. Now we can do the sorting part. Let us do the sorting. So if I have to sort this, okay, I can click on this option. Okay. Now instead of subcategory, let us take category. I won't want region and all. So I just remove this. Let us take category from here. Somewhere we have category. Here we have. So I'll just double click this. Okay, so here we go. So in this case, and this is much better now looking. So region wise, I have this category, subcategory. Okay, and you can see my furnitures and all. So again, uh, if you want to change the column and the width, if it is not looking good and all, you can decide how to divide this. Okay. Now, if you want to get category and subcategory again, okay, you can do that as well. Okay, and if you want to sort this, you can sort it. You can see this getting sorted as per the this range, the values. Okay. Now, under furniture, you can see that, especially whenever we come to this profit, one more thing, let us change the color. Okay, you can edit the color from here. Okay, the default color was this, which came to you automatically. It got selected. Now you can change it to some other color if you want. Okay. Now one more thing you'll notice is in tab view, the automatic color which is selected is always orange and blue. You know, orange and blue. Can anyone tell me the reason for this? So this was the one which was applied, and this is the default one. It is already taken. Orange, blue, diverging. Anyone, can you tell me the reason of you know, selecting this orange, blue, diverging color combination? I need some answers, guys. Yes. What do you feel? What could be the reason? Why not something else? Why not, you know, say green, blue, or you know, some red and green or something like that? Yes. Let us see this one. Okay, why not
Sir,
this?
I think blue give a cold effect to our eyes. That's why.
Okay. Mhm. I wouldn't say you're wrong or something like that, but I'm expecting some other answer. Anyone else? Or you can think about it. Why? No, the reason. Even as a, you know, analyst, if suppose you are going to present your, you know, dashboard, especially in case of, you know, white people in the sense, if your client is from foreign, okay, there are lots of cases of color blindness. Okay, there are lots of cases of color blindness, and one of the reasons why this color which we selected, the previous one, that is orange blue diverging, where it is this one. Okay, or it is getting selected automatically, because orange and blue, usually you won't find any issues with color blind people. Okay, so recognizing the colors for them is easier. Whereas when we use the red color or the green color, in the sense, recognizing those colors becomes difficult for them. Okay, for them it might be some gray color. So there are cases where you have to think about the extreme cases like this. Okay, so your client to whom you're presenting your, you can say, suppose you have taken a order from someone, and when you present the graphs to them, so you need to experiment this with multiple, you can say, people, your friends, family. Might be there are someone who are colorblind, and you can show it to them how they feel, how take their observation without telling them that this is the experiment which you're doing. But it matters a lot what color combination you're selecting. Okay, so based on different scenario, this is one of the reasons. Again, the other reason, as you said, it is more pleasing. That can be another, but scientifically, if you look at the reason why the orange and the blue color is preferred, is because of color blindness people around us. Okay, so, and it can help them also, because even, them recognize the colors and recognize the patterns which the colors are trying to show you. Okay, that is the major reason. Okay. So I'm not going to change this color. I'm going to cancel. I'm going to keep it as automatic. Okay, we'll stick to this. We'll come to later on when we will change it, and I'll show you how it works out. Okay. Now, what if I want to, this is the sales figure, and what if I want it to change it like this? I want all your, values, whether it's west, east, central, south. I want a proper bar chart. Can I get a proper bar chart here? Okay, can I get a proper bar chart? What I have to do is, I have to just remove this, okay, value. Let us do one thing, create another chart, and I'll just make use of subcategory, okay, and the sales value. Okay, fine. I hope you have understood when, especially when we took this example here. Now, looking at this example, you cannot, tell you ki, I cannot tell ki which is the subcategory which is giving you losses, which is, but if I change this, and instead of category, if I put in a subcategory, looking at this, immediately I'll get to know something from this. Now, as this is again scrolling down, we can arrange this in a better way. Okay, which let us remove everything and try to find out whether I can. It gives me an auto way of doing it. Now let us keep this and put subcategory first. Okay, this is my subcategory, and then I'll put the category. Where is my category? Fine. Now this is looking more weird. Let us remove all this, man. Okay, I'll just create a sales and profit mix by using the subcategory and the sales value and the profit value. Okay, so let us do that. So the first chart which I'll create is, I'll take a subcategory, okay, drag it and put it in the column. This would be better. And I'll get the sales value. Okay, so I'll put it in, sorry, I'll put it in the, it's okay, this is better here, and I'll keep it as standard right now. Okay, now I can pick up the profits and put it on the color. Okay, this is better, and I'll sort this out. So either this way or this way, whichever you feel like. Now, this graphs gives you a better picture of which item or subcategory is making losses. Okay, so which is the one which is making losses here? Yes, waiting for the answer.
Fastener, sir.
Okay, but look at the color. Look at the color. Now, this is a combination. This whole chart is a combination of the sales value and the profit value. Okay, because I've dragged and dropped the profit value on the color. Okay, the color is going to indicate whether it's a profit or loss. Look at the legend out here. It says darker the color towards blue, it is profit. And the more orange color, it is a loss. So which is having more orange?
Tables.
Tables, exactly. And not fastener. Might be this, they have less, sales, but they do have profit. Look at the values there. 950 is the profit and the sales value is 3024. But if you look at the tables, here we go. We have a negative value in profit, even though the sales figure is very high. Okay, sales figures are very high. Now, in fact, if you look at the full chart, immediately you can tell me which is the highest selling item. Which is the highest selling item? Highest selling item.
Phones.
Phones. And the least selling item? Now it is fasteners.
Fastener.
Right? And if you look at
Yes, sir.
tables, they are fourth from this whole chart. This is the fourth one, right? So that means it is the fourth highest selling item, but they are also making the highest loss. Profit wise, they are making the highest loss. So this is a combination of my sales figure and my profit. The profits are shown using the color, okay? And the size of the bar chart, the size of the bar indicates the sales figure. Am I clear? Now I can also show
Yes.
the text values. You can just click on this. I'll get the labels. Now these are my labels. It shows me the sales value. Okay. If I don't want, right now I don't want it, so I'm not going to display it. But this was just an example to show you, okay, if I have to combine two measure values, okay, two measure values and show it to the user. This is one way of doing it. This is one way of doing it. But if you look at this, I am not getting the exact idea what is happening. Okay, I have to go through each value and try to figure out what is the problem or what is the area where you can, from this, as soon as I look at tables at the end, but this is sorted as per the category, not as per the profit or the sales and so on. Okay, and region wise, again, the sales is different and the values are different. So this table is okay, fine. You can show it in the figures and all. As a pivot table, you can produce this further. But this image makes more sense and gives you a better picture. Okay, usually human brains, they can understand figures and pictures much better than the numbers. Okay, immediately. And of course, you can analyze the data and tell me the answer. But if I have to do it very quickly, as soon as I look at the image, I should be able to tell you something. Now that can be achieved through figures only. Okay, so how you present your, you can say, chart matters a lot. Matters a lot. Again, as I said, the color combination also matters a lot. Okay, so be careful whenever, suppose you get a client, who's asked you, who's given you some data and he's asked you to make a dashboard for them. Okay, so when you're making a dashboard, see that you choose the right colors, you choose the right, you can say, chart. Okay, and if suppose I want to, categorize this further as per category, you can think about dividing this by category as well. So if I change this, let us say I want to put this, let us change this a bit. I'll put this here. Okay, and the sales value here. Fine. And I'll put the subcategory. Where's the subcategory? Subcategory in the row. Okay, now this is and even the sales value, the subcategory wise values are not coming. I'll put this later on. Let me put the sales figure. The sales figure now in the column. Mhm. Now, what if I have to divide this subcategory, category? Or did I put, oh, sorry, I put subcategory in both the cases. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is my subcategory. Where's the category gone? Or let me put the region. Where is the region gone? Region is here. Okay, this one. If I have to put it in columns, it will come like this. So whether you want to put it like this or whether you want to put it like this, it's up to you. So here again, I get the region. I get to know which are the regions which are making profits, which are making losses. But again, because no, this is divided into a different region, and I'm getting the profit and the loss values, the profit and the sales value. Sorry. Okay. Now, like this, it becomes difficult, you know, because it is not sorted. So that's the reason. Another thing which you should look at is you should always sort your data. So if I click on this sort option, let me click on this sort. Okay. Now this gives you a better picture again. You know, as soon as you look at this, again, you can, now this gives you another view. Now look at the tables again. Look at the tables. Now, if you look at the tables value, you'll be surprised that in West, your tables are making profit. So this is an insight to you. Okay. Initially, when I used this, the other graph, the one which was combined, where it was not divided as per the region, you know, what was the outcome? The outcome was tables are making profit losses. Okay, tables were making losses for me. Then should I discontinue that? Should I discontinue that particular item? Okay, so I cannot take a decision like that. Might be some of the regions are giving me profit. So when I introduce region now look at the image changing. Okay, and the inside also changes. So East is giving me the the highest loss, you can say, minus 11,000. You can see this minus 11,025, darker color. Whereas West is giving me a profit of 1,483. So I can continue selling my item tables in West, and I can stop the selling in East and the other areas as well. So this will help me make a decision, right? This will help me make a decision. Any doubts here, guys? Any doubt? I hope I made it very clear. So how Tableau can be used and how different types of charts can be used to give a different view or different insights, you can say. Okay. Now, one more type of chart I would like to show you before we go to the other chart which I want is, let us add one more. Okay, the line chart. Now, we were talking about this one. Okay, we were talking about the line. If I want the line chart, let us put date. Let us put the order date. Let us put the order date. Where is the order date? Here it is. Okay, I'll double click it. Okay, and I want the profits also. So I'll double click this as well. Fine. Now, this is not what I want. I want a chart, and it gives me a line chart. Here you can see. Okay, a line chart. So I'll go to this line chart here. I'll hide this one. Okay. Now, what is the difference between, when we actually, okay, one more question. Now, I have been telling you that, whenever you create a chart, you have to, entire view. Let us put this entire view. Okay, I have told you that whenever you have a chart, especially you have to sort it. Okay. Now, should I sort a line chart? Should I sort? Especially if I have a line chart, should I sort it? One more thing, let us click on this and make this quarter wise. Now, this is my line chart. Okay. Now, whenever I click on this, I get a chart. Now, because I've arranged it, this is from 2018 to 2021. Now, if you look at the date, your date does not come in years, right? What is happening is a hierarchy is getting created here. Okay. A hierarchy is getting created. Now, if I click on this further, what happens? It gives me the quarter wise. For each year, I have 4 points now. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 year, 4 year, 4 year, 4 year. So total 16 points are getting plotted on my chart. And it gives you an insight. It definitely gives you an insight. If you look at this, it can tell you a trend. Okay, the trend is that every year my sales or my profit is increasing. Great, fine. If I divide this further quarterly, so it tells me, okay, the last quarter has always been a profit for me. Okay, okay, only in 2021, the last quarter did not do comparatively that well. Okay, compared to the other 3 years, fourth quarter. This will give me an insight. Fine. Now tell me, guys, if I divide this further, what does this tell me? Anyone? Does it give me a view, whether it tells me something? Isn't it getting complicated? The more you divide this further, this gets more complicated, and you won't be able to read it, or you won't be able to give any damn, insight about this chart. Okay, it's a mess. Okay, why like this? Why it like this? Okay, one more thing you might have observed is it is dividing the whole chart, the line chart, into different groups, you can see. So quarter one, quarter two, then here we have the months here down below. What if I want a continuous value? Okay, now this indicates that the date has been treated here as a discrete value. Okay, it is being treated as a discrete value. What if I want a continuous value? Let us do some small change. So I'll come here. Now, one more thing, remember, your brain, usually human brains, do not, or gets confused when we have multiple things to be analyzed like this. But when it was only 4, up to 4, this was up to here, it was fine. Okay. But as I keep on increasing things, it gets more complicated. Okay. So remember, whenever you're presenting some data, don't make it complicated. Keep it very simple. Okay, keep it very simple and insightful. No, but there might be a situation where you need to produce this in a continuous format. That means from here, then there should be a line which will be joining this. Then from here, it will be joining here, and from here again something here. Okay. Now, if I want to present my date in a continuous form, I can do that. Okay. So what I'll do is, first of all, let me click on this. I'll click on this drop down here, click on this date here. Okay. Now you will observe something here, see, look at this section and this section here. I have year, quarter, month, day, and something here more. Plus I also have again a year, quarter, month, week number, day, and more. Okay. And look at the sample given here. It says 2015, it says 2000. So year is hardly going to change if I make a change here. But look at the quarter. The quarter says this is Q2, this is Q2 2015. So it's coming along with the year. It says May 2015. This says only May. Okay. Now, this is the discrete form of graphical presentation, and this is the continuous one. So if I select this one, okay, now it becomes, and look at the color. Look at the color which changes. I'll just show you once more. So if I have this here, now this is a dimension. Both are of different color. This is a measure, right? This is a measure. And that's why last time I told you measures are all continuous values. Okay. Your date is considered as dimension and it is a discrete value. Now, if I have to change this into a continuous value, I'll come here. I'll just change this to years from here. As soon as I do that, okay, some changes happen in the diagram. Plus the color of this capsule also changes. Okay. Now the same color, both are, that means both are now considered to be a continuous value and are considered to be a measure. They are considered to be a measure now. Now, when I click on this plus sign, look what happens. Look what happens. Now here we have only one capsule. You don't have multiple capsules. Okay. Now what's happening? I'm getting a continuous line. Now this gives me a good picture at least. Now I can go down this further. Okay. Now, again, this is also making some sense. It is not that, it is not, because everything is joined together. I can tell the peak, I can tell the peak, I can tell the lows. Okay, this is my low and this is my peak. Okay, so December 2020 was better in terms of profits, whereas your Jan 2019 gave you a loss. Okay, plus if I want this to be further date wise, I can keep on dividing this. Even this will give you some insight. Okay, it's not that it's not going to give you any insight. Okay, you can click on this again, come back. For me, quarter, or let us take month wise, this is fine enough. Okay, this is fine enough. Okay, or if you're not okay with this, you can also keep it the quarter one. Okay, or if you want, you can go for the year one, whichever you feel like. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll put the color as well. So I want okay, can I give a trend line? Can I put a trend line here? So let us change this to quarter. Okay, can I introduce a trend line? So when I right click on this, you can say forecast trend lines. You can say show trend line. Okay, this is your trend line. Okay, now if you want to know the information of the trend line, it is getting calculated. Look at this. Okay, R squared, P value, and so on. And if you want to know the full value, okay, you can come back here. Sorry, here. Go to trend lines, and you can see the description of the trend model. Okay, all this information is there. Okay, so how your trend line model has been calculated, that